Have you ever looked at your life and felt like you were running in circles? The same routine, the same struggles, the same frustrations day after day, year after year. You wake up, go through the motions, and deep down you know something is missing. You know there's more to life than just surviving, but fear, comfort, and hesitation hold you back. Here's the truth. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And if you don't change your life, one day you'll look back and realize you've wasted the one thing you can never get back: time. Change is scary. Change is uncomfortable. Change feels like stepping into the unknown with no guarantee of success. But here's the secret. Every person you admire, every success story you've ever heard, every leader, innovator, and dreamer who created something remarkable at some point, they made a choice. They decided that staying the same was no longer an option. They chose to break free from old patterns, bad habits, and limiting beliefs, and they embraced transformation. That decision was the turning point in their lives, and it can be the turning point in yours too. Think about it. How long are you willing to tolerate a life that doesn't inspire you? How many more mornings will you wake up with the same complaints? How many more nights will you go to bed knowing you didn't give your best, knowing you ignored your dreams, knowing that fear won again? Life doesn't change by chance, it changes by choice. And that choice is yours. Maybe you're afraid of failure. Maybe you're afraid of judgment. Or maybe you're simply too comfortable where you are. But remember this, comfort is a slow death. The moment you settle for good enough, you close the door on greatness. The moment you stop growing, you start dying. Change is not about tearing your life apart. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. You see, your future self is waiting for you. That version of you who is stronger, wiser, more confident, and living the life you've always dreamed of. It exists. But you'll never meet that version of yourself if you refuse to change. The person you want to become is hidden inside the person you are right now, and the only way to unlock that potential is through transformation. The world will not wait for you. Opportunities will not pause until you're ready. Time will not slow down so you can catch your breath. Every single day, life moves forward, and if you don't change, you will be left behind. That's the harsh reality, but it's also the empowering truth. Because the moment you decide to change, the moment you take even the smallest step toward a new life, everything shifts. Change doesn't have to be massive overnight. It starts with one decision, one step, one act of courage. And from there, momentum builds. Suddenly, the impossible becomes possible. Suddenly, the things you once feared become the things that make you strong. So ask yourself, why should you change your life? Because the alternative is regret. Because the cost of staying the same is far greater than the risk of change. Because deep inside you already know you're capable of more. And because your life, the only one you get, is too precious to waste repeating yesterday. This is your wake-up call. This is your moment to choose. Will you stay the same, or will you finally take the leap and change your life forever? Part 1. Comfort zone is a trap. The comfort zone feels safe, doesn't it? It's familiar, predictable, and easy. You know what to expect, and there are no real risks. But here's the hidden truth. Your comfort zone is not your friend. It's your cage. It's the invisible prison that convinces you life is fine when, deep down, you know you're meant for more. Think of your comfort zone like a small room. The walls are close, the air is stale, but at least you know where everything is. You've memorized the corners, you've gotten used to the limited space, and you've convinced yourself that stepping outside might be dangerous. Yet outside that room lies an entire world of opportunities, experiences, and growth. The irony is that while you think you're safe inside, you're actually suffocating. Most people spend their lives in that trap. They stay at jobs they hate because at least the paycheck is steady. They hold on to habits that bring them no joy because change feels too hard. They silence their dreams because chasing them feels uncertain. and little by little the spark inside them fades. What they don't realize is that the comfort zone is not comfort at all, it's slow death disguised as safety. Growth and comfort cannot exist together. Every great achievement in history was born from someone stepping outside their comfort zone. The athlete who pushes past exhaustion, the entrepreneur who risks failure, the artist who dares to create something new, they all step into discomfort because they know that's where transformation happens. Ask yourself, what has staying in your comfort zone cost you? Maybe it's the career you never pursued. Maybe it's the fitness goal you never achieved. Maybe it's the confidence you never built. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you trade your future for temporary ease. But here's the good news. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't mean throwing yourself into chaos all at once. It means taking one small step beyond the line. It's starting that side project, speaking up in that meeting, trying something you've never done before. Each step feels uncomfortable at first, but then it becomes normal. And the more you do it, the bigger your comfort zone grows, until what once scared you becomes second nature. You were not created to live a small life. You were built to grow, expand, and rise. But you'll never know your true potential if you keep choosing the easy road. The comfort zone will try to convince you to stay, but remember this: nothing extraordinary ever happens there.
So if you truly want to change your life, the first step is to break free from the trap. Push against the walls. Step into the unknown. Because everything you want, success, growth, fulfillment, is waiting for you outside of it. Part 2. Time doesn't wait. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever have, and it is also the one thing you can never get back. Money lost can be earned again. Opportunities missed may return in another form. But once time slips through your fingers, it's gone forever. And the harsh reality is this: time does not wait for anyone. Whether you move forward or not, the clock keeps ticking. Think about how quickly the years pass. One moment you're saying, "I'll start tomorrow," and suddenly, months have gone by. One moment you're telling yourself, "I still have time," and before you know it, years have vanished. The scary part: most people waste their most precious years waiting for the perfect moment, a moment that never comes. Imagine being 10 years older, looking back at today. Will you regret not starting now? Will you wish you had been braver, stronger, more decisive? Regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry, and it almost always comes from the chances we didn't take, the changes we didn't make, and the time we let slip away. Here's the truth: every single day you delay change is a day stolen from your future. Every morning you wake up and live the same old routine, you are investing your time into a life you don't truly want. And if you're not careful, one day you'll wake up and realize you've spent more time surviving than actually living. The most successful people in the world understand this. They treat time as their greatest currency. They know they can't control the clock, but they can control how they use it. Instead of waiting for the right conditions, they act. Instead of saying, "someday," they say, "today." And that's why they move forward while others stay stuck. Ask yourself, how much longer will you wait? How many more excuses will you create? Time is not on your side, it is running out. But here's the empowering part: you still have today. You still have this moment, right now, to make a choice that your future self will thank you for. The key is urgency. Don't live as if you have forever. Don't assume tomorrow is guaranteed. Every decision you make today either brings you closer to the life you want or keeps you chained to the life you don't. Change requires courage, yes, but more than that, it requires recognizing that the clock is ticking and the world is not going to stop for you. So, why should you change your life? Because time doesn't wait. The longer you stall, the further away your dreams drift. But the moment you decide to act, you take back control. You stop wasting days and start building a future. This is the truth: you don't have time to waste, but you do have time to begin. And the best time is always now. Part 3. Pain is a signal. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a message. It's life's way of whispering, or sometimes screaming, that something needs to change. Yet most people run from pain, numb it, or bury it deep inside, hoping it will go away. But ignoring pain doesn't solve the problem, it only prolongs it. Think about it like this: when your body feels pain, it's a signal that something is wrong. If you touch a hot stove, the pain tells you to pull your hand back. If you feel soreness in your muscles, it's a sign you're pushing your limits. In the same way, emotional pain, stress, dissatisfaction, loneliness, frustration, is your life sending you a message: this isn't working. Something must change. But instead of listening, most people silence the alarm. They distract themselves with entertainment, overwork, bad habits, or endless scrolling. They drown out the signal instead of responding to it. And the more they ignore it, the louder it becomes, until it turns into burnout, regret, or even despair. Here's the shift you need to make: stop viewing pain as punishment and start seeing it as guidance. Pain is a compass. It points you to where your growth is waiting. It shows you the areas of your life that need attention, healing, and transformation. Without pain, you might never find the courage to change. Think of the countless stories of people who transformed their lives because of pain. The person who got rejected 100 times but used that pain as fuel to succeed. The athlete who lost everything but rebuilt stronger because the pain forced them to. The individual who hit rock bottom only to realize it was the foundation on which they could rebuild. Pain was not the end, it was the beginning. Ask yourself, what is your pain trying to tell you? Are you unhappy in your career because you're meant for something greater? Do you feel restless in your daily routine because you're not growing? Do you feel disconnected because you're not living true to yourself? Every ache has a message. And when you pay attention, you unlock the map to your next chapter. Here's the truth: pain will visit all of us, but suffering is optional. You suffer only when you refuse to respond, when you choose to stay in the same place instead of moving forward. The moment you decide to see pain as your teacher instead of your enemy, you take back your power. So why change your life? Because the pain you feel today is not meant to break you, it's meant to wake you. It's the signal that you are ready for more, capable of more, and destined for more. The question is, will you listen? Part 4. Growth requires sacrifice. Every dream has a price. Every transformation demands a trade. If you want to grow, you must be willing to let something go. That's the rule of life: growth requires sacrifice. Look at anyone who has achieved greatness: an athlete, an entrepreneur, an artist, or a leader. They didn't reach the top by chance. They sacrificed comfort, sleep, doubt.
And sometimes even relationships that held them back. They gave up short-term pleasures for long-term rewards. They chose discipline over distraction, purpose over ease. And that sacrifice became the fuel for their success. The truth is, you cannot hold on to the old version of yourself and expect to step into the new one. You cannot keep the same habits, the same excuses, the same comfort, and still expect your life to transform. Change means leaving something behind. It might be toxic friendships, late nights wasted on nothing, negative self-talk, or the fear of failure. If you want to step into your future, you must release the things that are weighing you down. But here's the beautiful part. Sacrifice is not about loss, it's about gain. When you sacrifice laziness, you gain productivity. When you sacrifice excuses, you gain results. When you sacrifice unhealthy habits, you gain health and energy. When you sacrifice fear, you gain freedom. Sacrifice is not punishment, it is an exchange. You trade what limits you for what can liberate you. Think of a seed. In order for it to grow into a tree, it must sacrifice its shell. The seed cannot stay as it is and still become what it's meant to be. It must break apart, give up its current form, and step into something greater. The same is true for you. If you want to rise, you must break the shell of who you are today. Of course, sacrifice isn't easy. It feels uncomfortable to let go of what's familiar. It hurts to release things you've carried for years. But the pain of sacrifice is temporary, while the pain of regret lasts forever. The question is not whether sacrifice is hard. The question is whether staying the same is worth it. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to grow? What are you willing to release in order to step into the life you've always dreamed of? Because the truth is, you cannot have both the life you want and the life that's holding you back. So why change your life? Because the future you deserve is waiting on the other side of sacrifice. And the moment you choose to let go of what no longer serves you, you make space for everything you've been waiting for. Part 5. Change builds. Confidence. Confidence is not something you are magically born with. It is not a gift handed to a select few. Confidence is built. It is earned through action, through change, through courage. And the truth is, the fastest way to build real confidence is to step out of who you are today and start transforming into who you want to be. Think about the times in your life when you felt most proud of yourself. Was it when you stayed safe, comfortable, and unchanged? Or was it when you took a risk, tried something new, and proved to yourself that you were stronger than you thought? Confidence is not born in comfort zones. It is born in challenge, in growth, in change. When you take the first step toward change, it feels scary. You doubt yourself. You question whether you're capable. But with every small victory, something shifts inside you. You realize, if I can do this, maybe I can do more. That spark of belief grows with each step forward, and suddenly, the impossible starts to look possible. For example, think of someone who decides to change their health. At first, the workouts are tough. The diet feels restrictive and motivation is low. But after a few weeks, they start seeing progress. The weight drops, the energy rises, the strength builds. With every change they commit to, their confidence grows. They don't just look different, they believe differently about themselves. That's the power of change. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. You don't wake up one day and suddenly feel ready. You take the leap, you stumble, you learn, and in the process, you build an unshakable belief in yourself. Every change you make, no matter how small, becomes proof that you are capable. And that proof is what builds confidence. But here's the problem. Many people wait for confidence before they act. They say, I'll change when I feel ready. The truth is, you will never feel ready. Readiness is a myth. You create readiness by starting, by moving, by taking that first step. And the moment you do, confidence follows. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you truly believed in yourself? What goals would you chase? What risks would you take? What kind of person would you become? That level of belief is not far away. It's waiting for you on the other side of change. So why should you change your life? Because every step you take toward growth makes you stronger. Because every risk you take becomes evidence of your power. And because confidence isn't something you find, it's something you build, brick by brick, through change. Part 6. The world is moving forward. Look around you. The world is not standing still. Technology is advancing, opportunities are shifting, and people are evolving every single day. The truth is, whether you choose to move or not, life is moving forward. And if you don't adapt, if you don't grow, if you don't change, you risk being left behind. Think about it. Just 10 years ago, the world looked completely different. Jobs, industries, and lifestyles that exist today didn't even exist back then. The people who embraced change thrived, while those who resisted struggled to keep up. The same pattern is happening right now, and it will continue tomorrow. Change isn't optional, it's survival. The danger of staying the same is that the world won't wait for you. While you repeat the same habits, someone else is learning new skills. While you cling to old patterns, someone else is taking bold steps. While you hesitate, someone else is moving forward, and eventually, the gap between where you are and where they are becomes impossible to ignore. But here's the empowering truth. Just as the world is moving forward, so can you. Change doesn't mean you have to transform overnight.
It means choosing to grow with the times, to keep learning, to keep evolving, to keep pushing yourself. It means refusing to stay stuck while the world around you races ahead. Think about the phone in your hand. How many times has it upgraded over the years? Each version becomes faster, smarter, more efficient. Now ask yourself, if your phone is upgrading every year, why aren't you? Why are you still running on old habits, old fears, old excuses? Your life deserves the same upgrades that you give to your technology. Change allows you to stay relevant, to stay alive, to stay ahead. It keeps you moving with the flow of life instead of getting stuck in the past. Because the past is gone, the present is fleeting, and the future belongs to those who are willing to adapt. Ask yourself, are you going to be the person who clings to yesterday, or the person who steps boldly into tomorrow? Will you watch others move forward while you stand still, or will you rise and keep pace with the future that's unfolding? So why should you change your life? Because the world is changing whether you like it or not. And the only way to truly live, to thrive, to succeed, is to move with it, to keep evolving, keep growing, and keep transforming into the best version of yourself. Part 7. Your future depends on today. The life you will live tomorrow is being built today. Every decision you make, every action you take, or avoid taking, shapes your future. Too often, people think of the future as some distant place, far away and separate from today. But the truth is, your future is being written in this very moment, brick by brick, choice by choice. Imagine two people who start in the exact same place. One decides to take small steps forward each day, reading, learning, working on themselves, making sacrifices. The other stays the same, comfortable, waiting for the right time. At first, the difference between them is barely noticeable. But fast forward 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and their lives are worlds apart. One has grown, succeeded, and created a better future, while the other is stuck in regret. The only difference? Their choices today. Your future is not built by luck, it's built by habits, consistency, and change. If you keep repeating yesterday, you'll only recreate the same tomorrow. But if you dare to act differently today, you can create a completely new future. The power is in your hands right now. Think of a farmer. When they plant seeds today, they don't see instant results. They don't wake up the next morning to a full harvest. But they plant anyway, knowing that their actions today guarantee their tomorrow. The same is true for your life. Every small action you take today, whether it's learning a new skill, breaking a bad habit, or choosing discipline over distraction, is a seed planted for your future self. Here's the reality: your future self will either thank you or resent you. 10 years from now, you will meet yourself. That person will either be proud that you had the courage to change, or they will carry the weight of the decisions you refused to make. You are shaping that meeting right now. So many people waste their present because they assume the future will somehow fix itself. But the future doesn't magically improve, it responds to the effort you put in today. Waiting, hesitating, and procrastinating only build a future filled with regret. Acting, deciding, and changing build a future filled with possibility. Ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to live in 5 years? In 10 years? Then look at your actions today. Are they leading you there, or are they pulling you further away? So why should you change your life? Because your future depends on it. Because the life you dream of will never arrive if you keep living the same patterns. And because the only way to build a tomorrow you're proud of is to take responsibility for today. Life is not meant to be lived on repeat. You weren't born to simply exist, to wake up and go through the same routines, feeling stuck, tired, and uninspired. You were born to grow, to expand, to create, to leave behind a story worth telling. But that story will never be written if you refuse to change. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered the truth about why you must change your life. We saw how the comfort zone is not a safe place, but a silent trap that robs you of your true potential. We discovered that time doesn't wait, every day wasted is a day you'll never get back. We understood that pain is not meant to destroy you, but to guide you, to signal that it's time to transform. We learned that growth requires sacrifice, and without letting go of the old, you'll never step into the new. We explored how change builds confidence, showing you that belief in yourself doesn't come before action, it comes after. We reminded ourselves that the world is moving forward, with or without you, and if you don't grow, you get left behind. And finally, we realized that your future depends entirely on the choices you make today. So let me ask you, what are you waiting for? Another year to pass by? Another perfect moment that never comes? Another sign from the universe? The truth is, you don't need more time, you need a decision. A decision that says, I refuse to stay the same. I choose to change. Change is not easy. It will test you. It will challenge you. It will push you out of the comfort you've built around yourself. But remember this, nothing worth having comes without a price. And the price of staying the same is far greater than the price of change. Staying the same costs you your dreams. It costs you your growth. It costs you the life you could have lived. Think about your future self for a moment. Picture the person you want to become, the confident, strong, fulfilled version of you. That person is real. They are waiting for you, but you will never meet them if you keep choosing fear, comfort, and excuses. The path to that future self begins with one choice, to change, here and now. Maybe your change starts small, a new habit, a new perspective, a step outside your routine. Or maybe it's a bold leap, starting that business, leaving behind what no longer serves you, chasing a dream you've buried for too long. Whatever it looks like, the time is now. Because life is not waiting. When you look back years from now, you won't regret the times you tried and failed, you'll regret the times you didn't try at all. You'll regret the days you chose safety instead of growth, hesitation instead of courage, comfort instead of change. Don't let your story be one of regret. Let it be one of transformation, courage, and fulfillment. So, why should you change your life? Because you deserve more than repeating yesterday. Because your dreams matter. Because your future depends on it. And because the only thing standing between who you are and who you want to be, is the choice you make right now. This is your moment. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't waste another day. Step into change, and step into the life you were always meant to live.